Kakaibang scent mukbang natin today. Kasi instead of smelling, ang gagawin natin ay magre-reaction video tayo sa isang vlog ng very popular artista. Welcome back to TOT, where we talk all tea and a little bit of shade on tech, trends, travel, and taste. Magre-reaction tayo sa video ni Miss Bea Alonzo at ang kanyang Scent Collection. May disclaimer lang ako before we start this reaction video. I actually work for a fragrance house and I am the country director for the Philippines. And in this reaction video, lahat ng sasabihin ko does not reflect the company that I work for, the customers that we serve, and the fragrances that we are selling in the market today. All of the opinion and comment na mababanggit ko sa video na ito is all my personal opinion. So tara, join me in this reaction video. Let's see kung ano ba yung mga favorite fragrances ni Bea Alonzo. And then, let me see what I can say about her fragrance choices.
It pains me to even share this with you.
So ayun, may nasabi siya, it pains me to share this video to you. Kasi ang fragrances, it's very personal, no? And as much as we would like to be unique, we want to own the fragrances that we use for ourselves.
Hi beautiful people, I hope you're all well and safe. Welcome to my channel, welcome to Bea. Most of you have requested for me to do this episode because I have been collecting for years, ranging from like cheap colognes to the more expensive ones or what they call the niche perfumes. Ibig sabihin po, ito yung mga perfumes na mahirap hanapin.
Alright, meron siyang nabanggit about fragrances or perfumes from the cheap ones to the most expensive ones. And one of the things that she mentioned was yung niche brands or yung niche fragrances. Tama siya doon. These niche fragrances are quite limited in quantity and medyo mahirap siyang hanapin. Therefore, they're quite expensive.
I love perfumes. I really go out of my way to find them. Whenever I would tell them stories, hindi nawawala yung sense of smell. Meaning, kapag kwento ko about Christmas, laging may amoy ng puta bumbong, or whenever I would recall a certain memory with friends, it always involves something that I smelled at that specific time.
Tama si Bea sa sinabi niyang yon kasi fragrances are usually associated with memories.
Really, it does remind you of that period of your life where probably you felt happy, or maybe it was your first kiss, maybe a promotion.
Yes, that's true. We normally associate fragrance with different things in our lives, be it emotions that you felt during a particular event, or it signals a momentous event in your life. Nakita ko na yung mga ibang niche brands na meron si Miss Bea Alonzo. So she has Tom Ford, Jo Malone, yung Airy. The Le Labo fragrances, this brand is also one of those considered as niche brands.
So ito yung mga bottles that I have collected through the years, but marami pa dito yung wala. Addicted ako to scents. Alam ko privilege to at alam ko marami magtataas ng kilay dito, but sometimes I even wear perfumes to sleep.
Back when fragrances were discovered or invented, mga kings and queens lang talaga yung nakaka-afford. It was only when the synthetic molecule, and the first ever synthetic molecule is vanillin. That was the time when fragrances started becoming democratized or commoditized. Ibig sabihin, not only the royalty but also the commoner during that time are able or were able to buy fragrances. Sabi ni Bea, she uses the fragrances for sleeping. There's nothing wrong with that. We can always enhance the way we sleep. And in fact, there's already a lot of fragrances that is supposed to make you fall asleep or make you sleep better. So, okay lang yan, Bea.
But I will start with my signature scent. It pains me to even share this with you.
It pains her to even share it with us. Kasi nga, fragrance can be unique to you. It's your style. It's part of your wardrobe. And it's part of your personality. It's like when you go to a party, tapos pareho kayo ng ball gown. That's why I understand the hesitation from Bea Alonzo.
La Lava Santal 33. It has this leathery, musky, earthy tones to it. It smells like an open fire, that soft, smoky drift.
This fragrance is a lot of woods and leather and sandalwood. So it's a little bit on the heavy side. There's a little bit of floral notes on top of it, just to lighten up a bit. Kasi when you put a lot of woods and leather into a fragrance, medyo masyado na siyang heavy. The fragrance is very sensual. There's a little bit of sweetness coming out of the woods here, and also coming out of the floral note.
Alam mo, hindi to ka-OA yan. Pero even my friends, yung mga naging staff namin sa Alove to Last, alam nila pag pumasok ako sa elevator at lumabas kasi naiiwan yung amoy na to.
Yung term that we use to refer to that property of the fragrance na naiiwan, no? Naiiwan or nalalanghap mo as the person passes by. That technical term is called the sillage. And the better the sillage, the more expensive the fragrance is actually. Kasi it has a lot of those very heavy fragrance molecules that are quite expensive.
This one naman, this is from Victor and Roll Flower Bomb. Also very sensual again. I usually wear this at night whenever I go out with friends or whenever I go out on a date. It's
Okay, so she mentioned one brand called Victor and Rolf. This is one of my favorite fragrance brands actually, and it's one of the best sellers globally, particularly this flower bomb. She mentioned that it's sensual. She mentioned that she uses it at night, and she cannot be any more right than that kasi this fragrance is a bit on the floral, floriental, very vanilla, sweet, ambery, a little bit of maltol type of fragrance. Kaya, it's more suitable to be used at night.
Parang it makes me feel more flirty. Namoy sa akin to.
Flirty, kasi nga, very sensual eh. There's also that musk that makes you feel like I'm so beautiful.
And then the next that I will share with you is this one. This is from Hermes. I don't know how to really pronounce this, but Un Jardin Sur de Toi actually smells like grass. It smells like summer.
Yes, the Un Jardin. Hindi ko rin alam kung paano siya i-pronounce, no? That entire collection of Un Jardin, marami yan eh. It's all about the garden, all the things that you find in a Mediterranean garden. So, tama si Bea. It's a lot of grass because it's a very green fragrance. And if you smell the rest of that line, very particularly, you will get that floral green notes. And then, mag-iiba-iba lang yan with the different variants.
And then another one from Hermes is this one. Un Jardin sur la Lagoon. This is what I have been wearing during the quarantine. Well, it smells very feminine, but this reminds me of power.
Medyo napapansin ko yung mga nagugustuhan ni Bea Alonzo na fragrances are more on the, I would say, the heavy types with a lot of woods, oriental, amber.
DKNY women. I have been wearing this for years and years. Ito ang taping perfume ko. It's very energizing whenever I wear it. Parang I feel like I should be on the go.
She mentioned that she uses this fragrance during her taping. So, I would say it's one of those regular work days para sa kanya. She mentioned that it's energizing kasi it also has some citrus facets into it, no? Coming from the orange note. Kaya, I think that's why she likes it when she was younger. For most of us, when we started buying our own fragrances, ito yung mga nag-a-appeal sa atin, mga the light ones, the citrus ones, the fruity floral ones, kasi yun yung, I would say, very young kind of direction versus dun sa mga unang nabanggit niya kanina.
And then another one from DKNY is this, Be Delicious. It smells like, again, grapefruit and apples. It smells...
Yes, that's correct. One of the very successful franchise in the DKNY fragrance brand is the Be Delicious line. And she mentioned that it has grapefruit and apple. Yes. And in fact, yung bote niya mukhang apple because this fragrance is essentially a fruity floral fragrance centering on apple.
I also have this perfume from Philosophy, Living.
I'm a bit surprised, no? After showing all of these different fragrances, she will mention a fragrance from Philosophy. It's one of those fragrance brand with very, very light directions generally, Sila yung would normally use the musky, floral musky, so very light. They even have a citrus direction that smells a little bit more like clean laundry. Meron rin sila fragrance, Pure Grace, that smells like rubbing alcohol.
It's uncomplicated. It reminds you of the days when I was younger and I would just go to the mall with friends. The times when life was so much simpler.
Ang ganda nung description niya doon sa pabango when life was so much simpler. Kasi, again, as I've mentioned, yung Philosophy brand kasi, it's more of a back to basic type of fragrance. Just focusing on the florals and the musk, a little bit of citrus. There's not a lot of woody complications, even the edible oriental amber or even fruity notes, wala masyado. So, yeah, even the bottle is very uncomplicated. So, kudos to Bea Alonzo.
This one is from the Peak, Oedo.
Another niche brand, si Diptyque.
Basta, this is orangey, it's citrusy. I wear this whenever I go out with my friends, work out or go to Pilates.
Workout or go to Pilates. So, this particular fragrance kasi is basically a citrus fragrance. That's why it's an everyday kind of wear.
I also have my Tom Ford perfume collection. Hindi man ako addict sa Tom Ford. This is...
Yeah, Tom Ford is a really a good brand. It's one of those actually very expensive brands.
This is also from Tom Ford, Neroli Portofino.
Yan yung favorite ko.
The ocean. Smells like summer. And I've never been to Amalfi Coast, but it's one of my dream destinations. That's why whenever I wear this, it makes me wonder of what it's like to be in Amalfi Coast.
She mentioned about a place in Italy called Amalfi Coast. Italy is very well known for its bergamot. Bergamot is a citrus fruit. Kapamilya niya yung mga lemon, lime, and there's a very big plantation of bergamot in Italy. So I'm not surprised na gusto niya yon kasi ang Neroli Portofino is actually, on a technical term in fragrance, is a cologne. So when I say cologne, it's a combination of citrus notes and white flower notes. And the Neroli Portofino is actually a combination of two. And she mentioned Amalfi Coast, so it also has a lot of marine notes, yung by the bay kind of breeze smell.
Medyo popular si Jo Malone sa pagmix ng perfumes. So what I usually mix is this, the Oud Bergamot and Dark Amber and Ginger Lily.
Actually, it's Jo Malone that kicked off the niche brand's popularity. And I would even think that Jo Malone is no longer niche kasi very popular na siya and you can actually buy it easily. Hindi na limited yung quantities niya, except that they keep on launching new directions. The other thing that Bea mentioned is that she's mixing and matching the Jo Malone fragrances. And that's true. She mixes two directions, yung oud and bergamot. So it's very straightforward for Jo Malone. It's just woods and citrus. At saka yung amber and ginger lily, which is basically something sweet and lightened a little bit with the citrus. No, not citrus, with a little bit of floral notes. And I'm not surprised. Again, Bea is really focusing on the oud, the ouds, the ambers, the leathery, the sweet.
I'd also use this Velvet Rose and Oud Dry Body Oil. Ginagamit ko to pag winter ulit kasi medyo woody and medyo earthy.
She keeps on mentioning earthy. Yung earthy na tinutuko niya would probably mean woody with a little bit of green. You will smell that kapag bagong ulan, tapos yung bungkal lupa sa garden nyo. That smell is, I think, what Bea is describing to us.
There you have it. Of course, wala dito yung mga favorite perfume ko growing up, like Nenuco, Johnson & Johnson, so yun yung mga gusto natin, Angel's Breath. Sana you can bear with me because there are perfumes that I cannot even explain kung anong scent niya. It's really subjective.
So she mentioned this Nenuco, Angel's Breath, and Johnson & Johnson. I'm not surprised that she likes those fragrances. In fact, Filipinos love citrus scent, and we are one of those countries who would often associate citrus to babies. And she mentioned that fragrance is very subjective. That's true. Magkakaiba tayo ng associations of the fragrances that we smell because we have different memories. And at the same time, kasi some of us may not have the same level of sensitivity to the different molecules, no? Depende rin kasi sa exposure mo eh. Kasi kung exposed ka sa amoy na yan, it's a lot easier to relate with it or to describe it as opposed to something that you've never smelled before.
But of course, I do play favorites when it comes to my perfumes. Siguro the top one would be Santal 33. This is my top one. My top two would be, ang hirap nito, but I'll probably just get the Bitter Peach from top 4. Top 3 would be Sancti. Top 4 would be Victor and Rolf. Top 5, it's a toss between Hermes or Chanel. Siguro para bigyan ng mas may range from citrusy to earthy. Eto.
I do like her top 5 fragrances. There's a whole lot of range into it. Bea has a very mature sense of smelling. And what I mean by that is, because she loves fragrances very much, she has been exposed to a lot of different fragrances. So, pag naamoy niya isang pabango, I think she will be able to detect whether this fragrance is a regular fragrance, very expensive one, or if this fragrance is something that is very new or very niche.
I really wear perfumes according to my mood. Siguro
she wears perfume according to her mood. That's true. Kasi fragrance is an extension of who you are. It also creates the mood that you want to be in. Either it creates or it reproduces the mood that you are currently in.
Yung naman sa pag-alaga ng perfumes nyo, probably wear it as much as you can. Kasi sabi nila pag medyo matagal na, di ba parang nagiging amoy alcohol na yung perfumes. And do not store it in hot places. Make sure malapit siya sa air conditioning nyo or nandun siya sa area na hindi masyadong naaarawan.
Very practical tip on taking care of your fragrances. So, use it as much as you could kasi the longer you store it in your cupboard, the fragrance will change. Also advisable to keep them in a cool, dry place if you want to prolong its life, especially kung nagko-kolekta kayo. What perfume
Etong
makes you
Santal,
happy?
it makes me feel happy because it brings me back to the memories when I was so busy with work and I feel the happiest when I'm at work. But also this one reminds me of the happy days when I was in south of France. I was in a long-term relationship, and it reminds me of our happy memories.
Napansin nyo, kanina, those two fragrances that makes her happy or that make her happy are also her top 5. Associated.
Siyempre, Ninuko and but this one, because I started
Yeah.
wearing this nga when I was a teenager.
That's true. The Ninuko, sabi ko nga kanina, pang bata talaga yon. And then she mentioned yung DKNY. Since she has been using it when she was young, so automatically she would connect it to something very young. But it doesn't necessarily apply to everyone.
Depende kasi ng wedding ko. Siguro, kung daytime beach, I'd wear the Portofino or the Mandarino. If it's a garden wedding, I'd wear Chanel Chance. But if it's going to be a church wedding, Chanel 33 Friends, just because it's my favorite scent. And plus, it's not too feminine, so it gives me that feeling of being one with my partner and that we would go on life together as one.
I couldn't agree more. Kasi, syempre, yung location where you will go, dapat babagayan rin ng pabango na gagamitin mo. Do know that she still chooses Santal 33 kasi nga it's her favorite. So parang feeling ko, all the good things, all the momentous events in her life, she would always wear this fragrance kasi nga she has already associated it with a very good memory. It's her favorite also. So I hope you like this video. I really wish that you subscribe to this channel para you can see a lot more of contents like this. And aside from Scent Mukbang, I also have a lot of product reviews, phone reviews, and I am on my way to 1,000 subscribers, so please subscribe. Bye!